What's up, everybody? My name is Joshua Yoder, and welcome to the Joshua Yoder Show. Today, I get to do something that I love to do, and that's nerd out. And joining me in this little fun session is Rodney and Danielle, the Pit Chick and RD Mosh. What's up, guys?
Get
Aha,
out of
thank
my head.
you. But thank you so much for coming on tonight, guys.
You're welcome. I had Snickers in my mouth. There's no way I was doing anything but waving.
Hey, you guys are hungry. I don't blame you. But thanks for coming on. And today we're going to talk about a big year in video games, 1996. Holy moly, a lot of cool stuff came out of that year.
Yeah.
I'd say 90s is when everything came out, for that matter.
Oh, bullshit.
Like everything was where that was the golden era of everything. So
Oh yeah, no, fair enough. The 90s was definitely a fun decade to be a part of, that's for sure.
So
But the
I
first
grew up in the 90s.
what year were you born, Danny?
91.
91? I was 90. How about you, Rodney?
I was 90.
90, sweet. Yeah, no, it was a great decade to be, well, really anything, cartoons, anime, video games, wrestling, sports. It was fun. Music. Those are good times, actually. But once again, though, thank you for coming on the show, guys. And I guess the first thing I want to bring up, 30 years ago, we had the N64. Do you guys ever remember playing that system?
Way to make me feel old as soon as we start the podcast.
Make me
Like-
feel even older. There's one in our attic.
Oh, nice. Where'd you you said it's in an attic. How long have you had that one?
Since it was bought.
Well, no, that my sister sold our original N64 when we were young. Well, when she was 10 years old. She's 10 years older than us. But she sold it when she was low on rent money, and I eventually bought another one when I was like in my mid-20s. It was called Retrospect back then, but now it's called Cartridge Galore.
Oh, I've been to a few of those shops.
Yeah, that's where I got my my GameCube also.
Wow,
Where I
that's
eventually got one because we didn't have one of them growing up.
GameCube. That was a fun system. That's 25 years old.
I mean, N64 is 30 years old and I'm 34.
I'm already not liking this podcast.
We're
Making me
we're
feel
gonna
old.
hang up. Just kidding.
Making me feel old.
Uh,
The gray in my beard is already showing even
you
more.
can't see the gray in my hair. That's why I dye it.
You should dye it red.
She won't let me.
I won't let him. He's
Why
not
not?
around.
You don't like it red?
She just won't dye anything on my face like that.
I won't dye his beard. I won't bleach his beard
Gotcha.
because this hair is a lot more sensitive than this hair. So if I bleach this hair, it will likely fall out
Ouch.
or have lots of breakage, and then he won't have a beard. He won't have anything to
Say
dye.
we're gonna go with off this subject and go back to where Josh is making me feel old.
Yeah.
No, man, but dude, the N64 was a lot of fun for me, and one of my favorite stuff to play on was the No Mercy games. Those were a lot of fun to play on that system.
The only thing that I had a big issue with the N64 is the controller.
Awkward.
It made no sense.
You had 3 handles.
Like, yeah, you had 3 handles, and depending on what game you played is how you held the controller.
I always held it with the middle and the far right. Because
Yeah,
I never
no.
had any games where I had to hold the 2 outside ones. It was always the middle and
Well, depending on like some games, you could either use the joystick or not, and use the D-pad as the way you move.
I liked the joystick more.
Yeah, no, Chad and I talked about that the other day as well. It's like that was probably like really my only gripe. I mean, I didn't have a total issue with playing with the controller, but man, there was definitely a lot of fun a lot of fun games to play on that one.
You know my issue with my main issue with the controller
What's
was
that?
playing Mario Party growing up. And even when you'd put a sock over top of your hand, those games that you'd have to go like this always tore up the inside of my freaking hand. I would go to school with like the inside of my hand, both of them, torn up, blistered.
Because you're a pansy, didn't know how to do it. You're supposed to squeeze it. Just do this and spin the controller
No,
around.
I went like
No,
this.
you spin the controller around.
No, this was faster.
No
I
one.
won so many games that way.
See, but Josh is right. No Mercy though is where the game was at, not this Mario stuff.
Well, I didn't play. No.
Or it was 007 GoldenEye. The
Oh,
countless hours of playing GoldenEye and staying up late with your friends and family that you know, hooking 4 controllers in, yelling at the other one for screen looking, and shooting each other.
oh,
What's crazy is I bought you that game, and I think you've played it once.
No, you didn't.
So good.
No, you didn't.
That's upstairs.
You didn't buy it for me.
What's
Dude,
upstairs?
you mentioned GoldenEye too. That was such a fun game to play. And also another one that I don't think gets enough credit was remember Perfect Dark?
No.
I do actually.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like a sci-fi version of like what GoldenEye was.
The other game that doesn't get a good enough rep on this N64 was the second coming of Killer Instinct as well.
Oh my goodness, yeah, that's right.
It was big more on the Super Nintendo, but when they tried to do it more in 3D on the N64, it never got as much flow as the rest of them did.
Oh my goodness, that's right. I forgot all about Killer Instinct. And you know, and Danny, you kind of mentioned it too. Another game that came out in 1996. In fact, it was the best-selling game of 1996, and that was Super Mario World.
I still play that game.
Yes, the classic.
I love that game.
Well, what's crazy to me about that game was that was the first time we ever saw Mario in 3D, and that was like it was just so cool looking, and it was so much fun to play.
I'm not gonna lie, there's still several levels in that game that kick my butt. Oh, they make me so mad.
Well, just going back to it, if you look at a lot of these like newer games now, if you go back, that's kind of where it started was with Mario 64.
Did you ever know why they call it Mario 64?
Is it because it's on the N64?
Yeah, but why was it? But why was
there
it?
64 levels? Because I feel like there's more than that.
Josh, do you know why it was the N64 and Mario 64?
I'm trying to think off the top of my head. Actually, I'm not sure where actually that came from. Actually,
If I'm not mistaken, it was because it was a 64-bit system
oh,
instead of an
right,
8-bit
right.
system for the Super NES.
Dude. Okay,
And
and
then
actually,
when there's an expansion pack that you used that came with I think it was Donkey Kong, that you actually slid into the center of your console that upped it to more RAM to be able to play certain games.
oh, dude, that's awesome. And actually, you want to know another fun fact that I learned about the N64?
What's that?
It was actually originally supposed to be the Nintendo PlayStation.
Yes, they originally were trying to get away from being cartridges and go to discs, and then PlayStation said, "Screw you, we're leaving," and did our own thing, and we got a PlayStation out of it instead.
That's right.
I mean, I'm not mad about that.
There's actually still working Nintendo PlayStations out there.
Did they? I've never heard of them.
They came out like it was not anything big, but there was like a handful that were like the database prototypes that came out.
Yeah, there's photos of them on Google
I'm
Images.
Googling it right now.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's pretty cool. Go check it out.
Yeah.
Dude.
Uh-huh.
I know, it's pretty sick, isn't it?
That was super.
Nope, that's not it there.
Let's say that looks like it.
It's like that. It's that one.
Yeah, you could play
Even then, the controller is still just like the Super.
Yes, because it actually was compatible to throw in the cartridge.
Yeah.
But if you look the same, it had the eject and the restart button like the PlayStation originally came out to having.
Yeah, and you could play CDs and cartridges on it.
Yeah, that's why I told her, because it has the
cartridge,
the original Super NES controller input to it, and she's like, "But why does it have this?" I was like, "Because you could actually backwards compatible play at that point."
Yeah, and they cost a fortune to get.
I know. I was like, why do I want one? But I know I'll never get my hands on one.
Good luck.
No,
'cause
man.
they gotta be rare.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, let's talk about some other fun games that came out, but along with the system like the N64. Let's talk about some games that came out in 1996. One of them, arguably one of the biggest franchises ever, Resident Evil, came out in that game. And Rodney, I know you played that game a lot.
That's all you. That is all you.
Dude, the world got introduced to shooting zombies and legitly scaring the daylights out of yourself. Like,
Oh yeah.
oh man, the stories that were told from cousins that were older than me that were starting to play it when it came out was amazing. You know, you'd start playing it in the dark because after everybody went to bed and your brother or sister came down and scared the crap out of you. Yeah, we learned not to play that game at nighttime. It was only a day.
Lights off.
No, it's only a daytime game. Only
Yeah.
the daytime game.
I'm just now getting to the point where I can play games where things are jumping out at me because I almost chuck the controller every single time because I'm a big old sissy.
Pansy.
I didn't start
Well-
watching horror movies really. Like I watched gore movie like Saw. I always loved the Saw movies and like Final Destination and things like that. But like I never got into like horror movies either until you and I got together because I made myself sack it up and not be such a sissy.
So then if that's the case, you need to go play the original Resident Evil and learn how
Listen,
what a real
most-
jump scare is
The
like.
most jump scary game I've ever attempted to play was Slenderman on PC.
Oh, that's nothing. That's nothing compared to have when you're
It
walking.
is whenever you're in a room full of friends that are all jump scaring the shit out of you whenever you're trying to play it on like a freaking 40-inch that's a computer, the laptop that's connected to the 40-inch with surround sound. And it
No.
sounds like that, like he's coming from you from every angle. Oh, I couldn't do it.
You're probably better off playing the remakes compared to the original version, because the original version, yeah, they were scary, but holy moly, the camera angles really messed with you.
Well, yeah, but that's what they were known for, is to push the envelope back then. But if we didn't have that then, we wouldn't have some of the games we do now. Like that stuff really started to really
They had to start somewhere.
push the envelope in what the technology we had then, though.
Well, yeah, absolutely. It was definitely a new 3D world that we were getting into at that point in time. And also, I like the concept of it. One of the things I liked about Resident Evil was the concept of it, of like, oh, wow, here's this pharmacy creating something that's, mutating people. And it's like, huh, weaponizing supposed to be pharmaceuticals, but it's weaponized. Well, that's an interesting concept.
Well, yeah, but also on top of that, not only did it bring out a great game and a great game series that, if I'm not mistaken, they're up to
9.
Now.
8 or 9 of them at this point.
Yeah, the 9
And
one
look
comes
how
out
many
great.
movies and that whole genre brought out in movies at this
Oh, yeah.
point. Because it's not only giving us just Resident Evil movies, but the zombie movies in general, or video game to movie adaptations we've gotten on top of that.
Well, yeah, not to mention it definitely started a trend. I mean, well, I shouldn't say it started a trend, because it followed, Alone in the Dark. That was actually the first one that came out in 3D, but Resident Evil really kicked it up a notch. And then you got Silent Hill. Oh my goodness, there was a lot of
Silent
good
Hill, Until Dawn.
Oh yes.
Oh, what's the other one? The Evil Within was another good one that
Oh,
kept
yeah,
going
that
and
was
pushing
good
those
one.
envelopes.
Oh, ones that I'm too much of a sissy for.
You would not play The Evil Within. I just know that one. If you think the jump scares for
Okay,
those games are
there's
bad,
games that I see Maverick, and mostly Maverick, but like the older two playing on Roblox, that are really freaky. And I'm like, you are under the age of 10. How does this not give you freaking nightmares?
because it's my kid and I have
Like,
horror movie
okay, well,
stuff
I'm
around.
for you, little Miss, you know who, that's trying to fall asleep or falling asleep because I put Dolphin documentary on for her. That's what she wanted. She was watching me play Tomb Raider earlier. And I kept telling her to stop watching mommy play and to go into the playroom and play, or I was turning it off, because she looked at me at one point as I'm getting attacked by wolves, and she's like, "This is scaring me." And I was like, "Then go to the other room, because I don't feel like turning it off."
Well, yeah, no, and you brought it up. 1996 was also the year of the Tomb Raider.
Oh,
I'm not going to say it.
the weird misshapen female figure.
Triangle boobs. Fine, I'll say it. You started it.
Uh,
Oh. But
Hey,
not
It's
only
not-
that,
I was
but
not
hold
playing
on.
the triangle boobs version. I was playing one of the
It's not even just that. Like that also started the era of yes, we did need a female character front runner for the young ladies that were wanting to get into gaming, and by far that was one of the best ways to do it. But they didn't
do her any justice.
they didn't do it justice because the fact they very badly gave her what every guy in the world wanted to see in a female, the thinnest waist possible, the biggest chest possible, and to be able to kick butt. But we all know in fun fact form,
That doesn't
there's
happen.
no way that woman would be able to do any of that in that game
She'd be top heavy.
without breaking her own back.
She'd be top heavy.
Not heavy. Oh Jesus!
But
Well, I will say Samus Aran from the Metroid games was pretty fun.
but you did not know that until you died. And all due respect, we didn't know Samus was a female until we died. And then we're like, holy crap, I've been playing as a chick this entire time.
Yeah, but what do you
Metroid.
like? What do you like about the Tomb Raider games, Danielle?
I literally just started it. Like, I tried to start it yesterday. I'm still on like chapter 1. I'm not even far. I don't know. I like that it's so far. I have a love-hate relationship with like open format games where you can kind of just like roam around because I have unmedicated ADHD, and there's times where I'll be running around these games and I completely forget what I'm supposed to be doing. like I'm just like running around. I'm like, I'm supposed to be doing something. What am I supposed to be looking for right now? Like earlier, I was scavenging for material to strengthen my axe. And I literally spent 15 minutes searching for cases, and I just kept getting attacked by wolves, and I started getting mad, and I almost rage quit.
Well, and to be going back to your other point, Rodney, about Tomb Raider, is that yeah, sure, that it was definitely an odd shape, but in fairness, technology wasn't necessarily there yet at that time.
No, 100% it wasn't. But we also didn't need to overly shape it. Yeah, like hyperly sexualize young ladies then either, just to try to get the market of females into gaming. Like
mean,
make her proper looking.
If you
But
think about it, they literally just modeled her like a Barbie is.
no, it was way worse.
No,
No, it was way worse.
If you've ever seen the statistics for if Barbie was a real life woman as to what her size would be, that's basically like PS2 Lana. Super tiny waist, like super big rack, so disproportionate, super long legs, like it's wonky. That's basically what they did. So they like took a Barbie, aka Tomb Raider, and made her a badass. To made Barbie a badass for video games is what they did with her. In a nutshell.
Still think they did wrong.
They did do wrong. I'm not saying they did right. And I'm not saying Barbie's expectations are realistic, which is why I kind of like am all for them making all these different types of Barbies now. But still.
Speaking of all different types, another game that came out in 1996 that was a lot of fun to play, at least for me, was Mario Kart.
Who didn't? Who didn't have fun playing Mario Kart?
Okay, so like we tried to play it a couple weeks ago, and we were like, screw this, we're playing the newer one because like the old one was so hard. It's like if you get used to like Nintendo Switch Mario Kart, and reverting back to N64 Mario Kart, you're like, how do I drift? How do I do this? How do I do this? Can I drift in this game? Like, I don't even know how to function in this game anymore.
You hopped around the corners.
Well, that's how SNES was. You couldn't drift.
Yeah, it's in the same way in N64.
Horrible. Let me drift.
Oh man, those were a lot of fun. Constantly racing around people, throwing shells at each other.
The love-hate relationship for when you got the guy that got star power or the blue shell. Oh.
The profanities that fly in this house when one person's in first.
It's not even here. It's straight out like
but
there
was my house specifically, like it gets hostile here.
The days of playing that as a kid though, with a group like 3 of us in the summer, just N64 controllers racing, and everybody had their main character, and if you touch somebody else's character,
they're not touching anybody's character. That's
you knew it was going to be all right. We're gonna wrestle quick to see who's getting that character. and that was that. Like you had no option. You knew your character. That was it. You don't touch the other guy's character.
Okay, so we're on the topic. Who was your N64 Mario Kart character?
Oh,
Who was your number one go-to?
I was Toad no matter what, as much as I could.
Josh?
Me, I was a Yoshi guy.
Thank you.
You guys all do wrong.
I loved Yoshi. And on the Switch, you know, I choose Yoshi's girlfriend every time. Birdo. Do you know why? Because she's pretty and she's got a big rock like I do.
So wrong.
The girls are who pointed that. Kara is actually the one who pointed that out. She's got a big ring like you do. I was like, yes, she does.
So wrong.
Of course, I love how over the years of Mario Kart since '96, all the characters they've added onto it and all the cool
Yes.
tracks. Like, holy crap, is it still as fun to play?
I know it's not 96, but when did the first Super Smash Bros. Come out?
98?
88?
I believe it was '98.
I might be correct. I actually might have just pulled that one out of left field. But no, like you're saying, for like all the tracks and stuff, like the first one for the Super Nintendo was great. But as we got closer to with the N64 and everything else, it was really great just to be able to do like Rainbow Road and the adaptations that track alone over the next several years of different games that we got that made it even better. But then we also had all the different power-ups that stuck around, and then the ones that we got that changed the game even after that made it even better.
Dude, yeah, absolutely. And it was so much fun to play. And you kind of mentioned it earlier about how you had to fight for your character. There was actually multiple fighting games that came out this year that, turned into a series. 1996 was the debut of Dead or Alive.
See, I only remember the older version to where it became the volleyball game.
I don't recall that game.
Yeah, we'll talk about that one later.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's not this podcast with rating.
Okay. Smash Bros. Was 99, by the way.
Oh, I was still close. I was close.
Yeah, you were. And adding on to the fighting games, we had Soul Edge came out in 1996.
Which ended up morphing into Soul Calibur later on.
Indeed. Actually, I forgot Virtual Fighter 3. That was a good game. That came
Lord.
out. And, of course, Tekken 2.
Which, hands down, like, number 2 fighting game in the world. Behind Mortal Kombat, you had Tekken. Like, if you were either one or the other.
We were Mortal Kombat house.
Because, by then, at that point, Street Fighter was on just a plateau. You didn't have much of that. And that's when Tekken was able to kick in and give us what we were needing in the mix of that.
Do you guys remember the intro to Tekken 2? That was a pretty cool intro, actually.
I still have all the Tekkens.
Really? Even the tag?
Yeah, it's in my parents' basement. They still have we have Tekken 1, 2, and 3. I had Tekken 4 and 5 for the PS2 when that was a thing, and then when Tekken 6 came out for when it was Xbox 360 and PS3, I was able to do it on the Xbox.
Have they really?
The Tekken 4.
What was that?
Have they really done that game justice since the later consoles?
The latest one that they have done some, but a lot of it's now. They added a lot more like customization to things, but like they don't. It's just really like, oh, let's decorate the character to do this, and it's always just the same thing, like, because it's not a platform that you can really do much with. Like Mortal Kombat is only driven by their story at this point, and doing the cool fatalities and what they added to where they had the special characters come in from other platforms as your DLC. But like Tekken never needed any of that. Tekken was driven by their story, and that was it. And that story, that backstory that you had as you got to watch all that history through the vignettes and stuff at the beginning and the end were exactly what you needed.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And who was your go-to character in Tekken?
Oh God. Well, we sticking with the Tekken 2 because
Yes.
Tekken. So for the year that we're sticking with, oh geez, King was a very solid person for me. No,
Yes.
King was the lion,
Oh,
who also had a wrestling background, mind you, which was hilarious.
Yes.
And then it had Armor King as his brother, which was also kind of fun. What?
how does a lion have wrestling background?
He was a lucha libre and he wore a mask,
Okay.
like Daniel Exotic's mask
Okay.
type thing.
See, I was thinking like rar, a lion.
No, he was
But I-
like a tiger.
You know what I mean? I'm like, how?
Like it was a tiger mask.
I was like,
Sorry.
okay, who
It is
taught this lion?
again. It was
I know it's a mask, but my brain is just.
lucha libre. It was pretty fun.
I was like, what?
I'm trying to remember. Nina was back in there, which she was doing very well in Tekken 2. If you know the chance to play as a female character, but you know those were normally where we went, where I was at. Also, you know, you randomly get to play with Yoshimitsu, which was a wild character to hear his backstory and knowing that he was an alien, the different forms that he came out with later on down the line was just outrageous.
I myself was a martial law guy.
Well, who wasn't? You know, it's just Bruce Lee.
Hey, they paid tribute to one of the best martial artists ever. And oh, real quick, R.I.P. Chuck Norris.
Yeah, that is true. Not until the later series did I get into Harong and Eddie Gordo, but then Eddie ended up switching with Christie because they had the same control set with moves and everything else.
Yeah.
But no, it was a good setup. They had a lot of fun aspects with it that you can do in those series that you don't see a lot in these ones. Like they had, not only was it just a straight fighting game, they had, they gave you your Tekken, your time attack mode, see how fastly you can go through the Iron Fist tournament. But if in the later series they had in Tekken 3, they had it to where you can turn around and do a running battle game, which was almost a throwback to your N64 and Super NES side scrollers.
Yeah.
That you could fight through almost like you're playing Turtles in Time.
Oh gosh, don't get me started.
To get into your to get another side character. And then they ended up also in Tekken 3 gave you a volleyball game, which was called Tekken Ball, that actually gave you damage when you missed the ball, and just different form factors of that.
Oh, dude, that was sweet. And you want to talk about another fun game that is nice to have, and a lot of people I don't really hear much about it anymore, which is sad. I really liked it. Crash Bandicoot came out in 1996.
I still have I have the Insane trilogy, the remake
Oh,
for
do
the
you?
PS4. I have that and the Spyro remake.
Oh, Spyro was good too.
Yeah, I've got them both.
Heck, remember
Those were like the first two games I bought when I bought my PS4. They were the requirements. I was like, I need these I need my childhood games that I loved and that I played viciously, and I need them in high definition.
That is only because you are the basic gamer ever, and you cannot do anything but a side scroller or anything else like that. We've had this conversation in this
You
household.
totally called me out on my shit last week.
She cannot play any game
I get
that is
frustrated.
not a traditional side scroller or anything else of that nature.
Me too. I struggle.
That completely upsets her and everything else. The most technology wise that she gets into when she plays those is Crash. Instead of going left to right, it's going forward, and she dies way too many times, and then she gets upset and throws the controller.
I don't throw the controller anymore. I've grown up, and they're a lot more expensive now than they used to be.
Nah, man, Crash was so much fun, and honestly, the character and the story about it, it was just a lot of fun.
Yeah. The OG Crash still pisses me off to this day.
Again, because it wasn't left or right, it was forward
No,
and
because he was
backwards.
stupid half the time. You'd tell him to jump and he wouldn't jump properly, or he'd jump right into a bad guy and you'd tell him to jump over it.
That's not his fault.
Yes, it is.
That's the technology we had then.
It's his
Oh, yeah.
stupid head fault.
No,
It
no,
was-
it was the full on the technology because we were still learning out how to put video games together.
Bullshit.
Yeah. Let's talk about that real quick because the input lag can sometimes be quite annoying.
I think that's what pisses me off the most about that game is even in the revamped version, there is still a lag there. And I'm like, there's a lot of times where I have to turn it off because I'm like, the kids are around and I can't be cursing at the TV like this. My husband's going to yell at me. So he literally tells me, if you're gonna get that mad at the TV, turn it off. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy too? Like back in those days too, that people forget about. Sega and Nintendo always had their mascots. They always had like Mario, and then you had Sonic. But when Sony came out, they came out with Crash and Spyro, so they came out with a lot of the cool mascots kind of characters back then.
Yeah, they really did.
Speaking of mascots, and honestly, you want to talk about a franchise that's been around forever. 1996 was the debut of Pokemon.
Pokemon in Japan, if we're going to go that far.
Yeah. Well, if you include the anime and all that as well.
Yeah. Well, for
Yeah,
gaming.
the
Yeah.
show. He's also probably talking the show too.
Yeah, the show as well.
Yeah. Say Japan got the game in 96 out there.
Yeah. But the anime and all the craze that came out from that, holy crap. Look how far that franchise has come from.
Yeah. Pikachu.
Is that your go-to Pokemon, Danny?
That was when I was a kid.
Again, basic.
Hey, nothing wrong with a little bit of Pokemon. Who was your first choice out of the original games? Were you or what are you?
For me, it was Pikachu. It was either Pikachu or was Charmander an OG?
Yes.
Choice? He was also one of my OG choices.
Again, also
That's how much game I wanted. What do you want with fucking Squirtle? With
Yeah.
Bulbasaur?
Bulbasaur.
I'm a Squirtle guy myself.
See, I like fire and lightning.
Yeah, but Bulbasaur did a lot
I just
more in
wanted
those
to
games that
set
you can.
things on fire and shock people.
Again, always chooses violence just because she can't go left or right.
As it's lightning right now.
I
I just think it.
liked it because my favorite color is blue, but I also like water. So that Squirtle being a cool turtle, and then when he finally got the Blastoise, and I saw a turtle with a giant gun sticking out of his back.
He was.
He's not wrong.
He was cute when he was little. Okay. I also, whenever I was a kid, I was also the typical girl. I went after the cute animals. That's who I wanted to be. I was also like.
Says the girl that also probably, in her past time of being a kid, played Animal Crossing.
No, I played Neopets.
Oh God.
Oh my goodness. I forgot about those.
If that's gonna be a thing, I'm leaving the chat.
Oh my goodness.
The tiger was my favorite. I
No,
was
I
obsessed
was-
with tigers.
The closest thing I ever did to those things was do you remember the Digivices where you get to raise a Digimon?
I
Yeah.
thought you were gonna go with Tamagotchi there for a second.
Oh Jesus, I forgot about those too.
The little eggs.
Oh,
They
geez.
still make those.
Do they really?
They do.
Wow.
They're expensive as heck right now, though.
I
Or they
believe.
were like a year ago when they came back out. Maddie tried to tell me that she wanted one, and I was like, "Kid, you're my kid. You're gonna want to play with this thing for a day or two, and then you're gonna forget about it, and then you're gonna find it in the bottom of your toy box in 5 years, and it's gonna be dead.
Oh
Your
yeah.
pet will be dead." Or like on Neopets where they run away. They dead ass tell you neglected your pet. You're a terrible pet owner. Your animal ran away because you didn't take care of it.
At least they were honest with you.
I logged into my old Neopets a couple years ago from like whenever I was a teenager, and all of my animals were gone.
Oh
How do you
jeez.
remember the password?
It was years ago. And then I'm not gonna lie, I found out that they made like a new, like Neopets is still a thing, and I'm thinking about making it too.
Oh jeez.
You can't even keep plants alive. How the hell are you gonna keep those alive?
Your kid's alive.
They're never mind.
We don't have them 100% of the time, is what he's gonna say. They don't depend on you solely.
I'm here to help raise them. When you neglect, I take over.
I don't neglect.
No, she's a good parent.
Oh, I believe it. And actually,
Sometimes
real
with
quick,
kids.
a little before we get back to gaming, you guys were excited to have your daughter see you wrestle for the first time.
Our oldest.
I did. It was the best.
I know you. I could tell you were fighting back the tears.
As a proud dad moment, 100%.
Yeah.
Knowing that she was out there, but also the cool thing of seeing her get involved and just have the enthusiasm as much as I was in the same moment. Yeah, thank God for sunglasses in certain parts, and also thank God for being able to stay in work mode and not break.
Oh yeah, no, I believe it. And well, here's something that maybe we can get you back into break. Any of you ever play any of the Duke Nukem games?
Dude,
Oh,
how far are we allowed to talk about that on your podcast?
we're good.
Okay, because that game should not have been in any kids' hands. Let's go there.
Duke Nukem.
Yeah, so Duke Nukem.
Sound familiar?
Honestly, if I'm being honest, yes, Duke Nukem was a bit adult for a kid, but you think that game was bad in a kid's hand? Do you remember Conker's Bad Fur Day?
Yes,
That game
but
should.
okay.
That, do you remember Earthworm Jim?
Before we keep going, though, Duke Nukem, mind
Yeah.
you, to gain health in a quick time to gain health, you walked to a toilet and took a piss.
Okay, so literally, I pull up Google and I Googled Duke Nukem, right? Just so I could like see the picture to click. Okay. And the first quick facts of people also ask, why was Duke Nukem controversial? That is the first line as
Duke
to
Nukem-
what people ask. And am I allowed to read? Am I allowed to read this?
Sure, why not?
Okay, Duke Nukem 3D was controversial because of its depictions of human sexuality, pornography, obscenities, graphic violence, recreational drug use, and other risque topics.
Dude, there was a scene in Duke Nukem 64.
It was banned in Brazil.
On an N64, mind you. You walked into a place, there was a woman in a pair of panties and underwear, and you gained health by and an extra life by fornicating with
His
said woman.
famous line is hilarious.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it
Josh,
was.
do you remember what his famous line was?
Well, he had plenty of one-liners back then.
Hold on. Josh, what is Roddy Piper's famous line in the movie?
I like to kick butt and chew bubble gum.
I'm here to kick ass and chew bubble gum, and I'm all out of bubble gum.
Yeah.
That's where Duke Nukem got his line, was from Piper in a movie.
Yes, a B movie, but still a fun movie nonetheless.
Yeah, but not only that, being very controversial for Duke Nukem, he was a badass going around doing what he had to.
He had to save the
beating
world.
up, shooting cops, mind you, that were pigs.
Yeah, he was trying to stop an alien invasion of enslaving the Earth.
Hey, if you really wanted to, you could get the 20th anniversary World Tour edition on the Nintendo Switch of Duke Nukem.
Oh, no shit.
I swear to God, it's right there.
Well, that might be a thing. Games not allowed to play when the kids are around.
Well, you'll have to get the Switch out of the girls' room.
Well, I will say this though. We talked about it a little bit. Let's get back to it. GoldenEye was so much fun to play.
Oh yeah. Say that they innovated so much with GoldenEye for being one of the first shooters, at that matter, that you could multiplayer and do just attack each other.
Yeah,
like that's where that was really honed in on, because one of the first shooters that came around that made everybody go ham was Doom. But then when we got to actually shoot each other, and have a battle royale at that point, that took off on its own genre of shooters.
Oh, without question.
Because after that, you got so many that were games were just in that. And now look where it's at with Call of Duty nowadays. And then on top of that, you had Halo and all the games of that nature that spawned all from GoldenEye taking a risk and saying, hey, we got a platform that allows you to have 4 players at a time let's give them a chance to shoot each other.
Yeah, and it's not, and it was more than just that too, Rodney. Like you had like paintball mode where like instead of bullets,
Yep.
you were hitting each other with paintball. But they also took a risk in like graphic design. They actually showed you like how they actually got the the graphics in the games to work. Like they showed the drawings of it as you played.
Yep.
They were putting on a lot of risk in that game, and it turned out wonderful.
Oh yeah.
I
And there was
absolutely
just the 007 games in general, being one of those ones that were backwards from what we became to know and love now, of being where it was a movie made into a video game.
Oh yeah, definitely. That without question. That was kind of also the start too of like I mean now it's commonplace, but like a lot of video games were starting to become more how do we say cinematic, if you will?
Yes, because we got a lot of cutscenes then too, and they were trying to figure out how to do that with the animation and what we had technology wise.
Oh, absolutely. And definitely it was a lot of fun in some of those things. And also too is talk about like I also wanted to bring this up too because I don't know if you guys remember these, but do you guys remember some of like the magazines that came out explaining some of the video games during that time period as well?
We also going to talk about the ones that you scroll to the back and find all the cheat codes in the back of.
Yes.
My family used to have one for Super Mario World 3.
Oh,
The one that cheats that it also told you where all the hidden whistles were.
Showed you where everything was. Like it showed you like it looked like comic book strips almost, but instead of it being like cubes, they were like strips the whole way across, and it would show you where everything was at. But what was crazy is okay, one, y'all talked about having to fight for your characters. I had to fight to even be allowed to play.
So did I.
No, my sisters were assholes. You got to think they're 10 and 13 years older than me. I was so young that they would plug my controller in and it would be tucked underneath the console.
I had to fight for the TV to play from my parents.
Listen, we had to do that. And then whenever we fought and got the TV, I had to fight to even get a chance to actually play.
well, that's the beauty I will say of the N64 as well. It was one of those systems that you only had to not just plug in one or two controllers, it had up to four.
My sisters were just jerks and they didn't want me slowing them down. They were 10 and 13 years older than me.
Again.
I was the annoying baby sister.
The one over here that couldn't do any other games that were not left and right.
Playing the same freaking games that they were.
It would have slowed me down too.
Well, you want to talk about well, speaking of going left and right, one of my favorite games playing was the Super Smash Brothers. Oh, I had a lot of fun playing that one. You didn't like
That
it?
was more No, that was more of Andy's my cousin Andy's place of playing. He had more of the Nintendo stuff. Like at this
Is
point,
that the one where you had to hit the PAL buttons?
Super Smash Brothers?
Yeah.
No, that's part of the Super Mario.
Brain farting.
Super Smash Brothers was where you got all your all your Nintendo characters and basically had a battle royale fight
Ooh, okay.
like this.
Yeah, all the Nintendo characters
Okay.
came
But it was
came-
all Nintendo characters. See, at this point, I went to after Super NES, I went to PlayStation.
I used to have that for the GameCube.
Yeah, but I went to PlayStation, so I didn't get in much of the Super Mario, Smash Brothers, or all that fun stuff, except for when I went to their house and played. But I did a lot more of the stuff for the N64 or
I have the Melee.
the PlayStation versions of stuff.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. PlayStation was an amazing system. Did you guys ever play Papa the Rappa?
I had the demo. We had when we got our PlayStation. It like, and now mind you, and I wish this was still a thing today, to where when you bought your new console,
You got a demo.
you got a demo disc that came with a bunch of games that you got to at least try out to see, like, hey, what is this going? How does this game work, and what is it?
I'm pretty
like-
sure with my PS2 I got like it was a two disc. It had two games. It had Spyro Ripped Rage, and it had like Crash Bash,
Yeah, so
something like
that
that came with my PS2.
right, but that's how they originally came with like systems. They came with with one game to start off with. Now they don't.
Well, like even
But
my
the
Sega, I still have the OG Sonic that came with it that literally says
yeah,
on the Sonic cartridge, not for resale.
right. But
Like,
so like PlayStation came out with a disc, and
yeah,
one disc that came with
they had like a
your console.
segment of the game.
It was not even a full segment. It was just like here's a snippet of the game for you to try out. It was you
Like
got
a
maybe
or something.
maybe a minute or so into it.
Oh, so
I had
mine were like at least a level or two.
so the one I had Pipe of the Rocker in it. It was straight out DDR back then to figure out what it was.
Punch, kick,
It
punch.
had it, yeah, and it was a guy teaching him how to do karate,
That's
which was
fantastic.
weird. I had Tomb Raider on there. There was another couple racing games on there and a bunch of other stuff.
I feel like I got a racing game with my PlayStation 2. My PlayStation also. My PS2, it came with an ATV racing game.
Ooh.
That game was
Ooh.
actually pretty cool.
I think was it. I think it was
No,
actually.
that was later. That was
Oh,
later.
man. Okay.
Probably it's quad
It
racing.
was literally like ATV something. That's
Yeah,
what it was called.
ATV quad racing. Because
Didn't
I
it
had
look-
that one. I had that one for the PS1.
I would say if I can
No.
Off-Road Fury.
Yep, had it.
Oh, Off-Road Fury. That was a good one.
Yeah, I had ATV Off-Road Fury for the PS2. That's what
Holy-
came with my console when I got it. Either that or it's the game my parents bought me when the console when they bought it. I don't know. It came from Santa.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. But holy crap! I just
Oh, it
never.
was actually ATV Off-Road Fury 2 is the one that I had.
Oh, that was a good one. Oh, I just now realized this game is that old. I didn't realize back in '96, X-Men versus Street Fighter happened.
Yes.
That started the Marvel versus Capcom thing. Holy moly! I didn't.
Right.
Oh,
So if you actually want to go back and look more, because I was doing doing some research for this podcast, the third installment of Doom came out as well in '96.
oh,
And if we're going to touch base on anything in '96 or any bit of game nostalgia, you can't go out without mentioning Doom and having a full topic of Doom. Doom
oh, you got
brought
to.
everything to the table. It was the first one to do a first-person shooter. It's what became the best, selling genre at that time, and still deeply is, because now you have your Call of Duties and everything else, but like you go back all the way to Wolfenstein and Doom.
Oh, Wolfenstein was
And
an underrated game.
them bringing out Doom, the final chapter then, but look at what it is now today. Like, I think I just saw it the other day that Doom Eternal is now 6 years old, and they
Jeez,
brought out
already.
Doom the Dark Ages not too long ago. Like, Bethesda back then knew exactly where they wanted to go with. And the best thing is you didn't have to have these cinematic stories to tell and everything else. You had a few words on the screen that were, "You're in hell, shoot all the demons." And that's all you needed to know.
Was Doom 3 the one where I'm trying to remember? Was Doom 3 the one he had to avenge his rabbit?
I believe so. Yeah.
Never
There's a
mess
couple
with
other-
him. Never
There's a
mess
couple
with a
other good
man's
games that
rabbit.
came out in '96, like Super Mario RPG. I still have that one, and there's a couple Donkey Kongs that came out too.
Oh yeah, Donkey Kong Country,
Donkey Kong Country 3 and Donkey Kong Land 2. Both came out
Daytona
in '96.
USA. Holy crap, Daytona USA was so much fun.
Dude.
Sonic
Especially
3D Blast came out then too.
Dude, that oh
Madden
remember Die Hard?
'97.
yeah. Because they're always a year ahead of the year.
Well, my thing is like I forgot they made them that far back.
Yeah, sadly. Yeah.
That ranks up there with like NBA Jam on the Genesis. Wow, he's on fire!
Oh, NBA Jam, that was a fun one.
Oh,
Do you guys
man.
remember the Die Hard arcade games?
Yeah.
That was
Dude.
'96.
What's
There's-
crazy is in '96 the Die Hard trilogy of the games came out also.
Nice.
So like as much as the gaming console wars were starting in '96, because that's when they still had a lot of PlayStation and Nintendo started to battle real good with what games they were coming out with and had their mascots and everything. Not to break away from those, but and take away from what they had, but like the arcades in the 90s were still
Oh,
popping, still producing great cabinets that still to this day, I feel if we could get this generation
Into that.
showing them, hey, here's a cabinet, what we used to put a quarter into, and get a couple hours worth of gameplay, as long as you didn't lose and die and lose all your lives and die, you could beat the entire game.
yeah. I think it's fair. I think it's safe to say that the arcades peaked in the 90s.
Yeah.
Like 80s and 90s is
Well,
definitely
even
where
then,
they
like all amusement parks had arcades also. Like every amusement park that I ever went to as a kid, like there was always like an air conditioned arcade or something like that that you could like escape the heat and go in and play the old school cabinet games in, or skee ball or whatever.
Well, so and there actually are technically still some arcades, not like, but most of them are more like, oh, if you have like a restaurant, you have like you have a little space that you don't know what to fill it in. Oh, you just put some arcade machines.
Yeah.
say, or you have one
Or you
that
have like Dave and Buster's.
Dave and Buster's where it's utilized around that for more adults at that, or it's more adult friendly at that point. But you have your back when we were kids, we had Chuck E. Cheese
I was gonna say
that
that.
you had that
Yeah,
nature
it's
as
like
well.
the action zone.
But like at this point, still you go over to Grange Fair and you can still link into an arcade cabinet in the arcades there,
Ooh.
or Hershey Park or Knoebels.
Yep.
They have multiple arcade sections there that still have all the old cabinets. Some of them are more modern, but
Some of them
with the
are
technology, but it's still playing the old games that you fell in love with as a kid. And you get to show this generation and your kids of like, hey, this is what dad grew up on, and this is where your games originated from. If it wasn't for this stepping stone, you wouldn't have what you have today.
you know.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and I definitely think more kids should know that. And I'm ashamed to admit this, but I've actually never been to a Dave and Buster's before.
There's one down in Harrisburg in the Capital City Mall. I'll tell you now,
It's one in Pittsburgh too.
take a couple $100, just like
Yeah.
$100, and go have fun. Reason why I say $100 is because you're gonna want to get some good food, and then you load on a credit card. They give you like a prepaid card that you swipe.
That you have money loaded onto, and you literally just go up to each game and you just boop, tap it,
Oh,
swipe it, whatever, and
then
it takes the points off, and then it puts your tickets directly onto there. And
yep,
the last arcade I remember ever going to, and it was a pretty nice arcade, was in the Altoona Mall.
tilt.
yep.
You
That
better
was
be careful. You're gonna wake the child up upstairs because that's like her favorite place to go.
oh, whoops.
She is obsessed with that. Like, there's times where I take her there and I'm like, okay, Maddie, you have $20, and she blows through it in 10 minutes.
Sounds like a
Bam.
child.
And I'm like, yep, well, you're done. Like,
No, that's awesome. But
But
that
then they also have now like some of the stuff that we can do that we can because of the technology that we have out, which is amazing. You're getting a lot of even the arcade cabinets that you can play on your own TV now.
yeah,
I just saw one floating around as one of those ads that they're doing the shooters, and you get a pistol to be able to aim at your TV, and it has a sensor that it comes with it where you can end up using it as to do like time crisis and
oh,
Duck
time
Hunt 2.0.
yeah, and
oh,
go back and play like the original Duck Hunt from like the NES and stuff like
Duck
that.
Hunt. I love Duck Hunt.
Screw that dog. Snickering.
But like I wish that was more of a thing. But like we have to have adapters now for our TVs to be able
Well,
to
yeah,
be able to do
because
that.
with Duck Hunt,
Emulators.
Duck Hunt's technology required the um
The
rear
rifle?
projection. The rear projection.
Oh, that's right.
Like there's a certain sensor in the old rear projection TVs that was required for Duck Hunt to work, because I remember the first time I hooked up my OG Nintendo up to one of my flat screens,
Do you
and it
remember what
would
it was
not
for?
shoot. And I was
Do you know what it was?
so mad. I thought my gun was broken. I ordered a new gun and everything. It wasn't that. It was TV.
Do you know what it was?
I can't remember. Was it the antenna?
No. So the game would, when you pulled the trigger, it flashed your screen, and it had a split second of white flash
Yeah.
to show that you had your action, and it used the flash in there from the light bulb to trigger into the game, to the mirror inside the gun, to be able to play through. See, and here's the fun thing. She's looking at me like I'm like, how does he know all this stuff?
Freaking wizard.
And whatnot. But what she has failed to remember, and Josh, I don't know if you know this, and this is why I get to be the big nerd of the group and whatnot, is I have a bachelor's degree in game art and design. So a lot of this stuff is stuff that we learned in one of our classes of like, hey, why did this work? Or, we passed around a lot of the nerd fandom of like, we know random histories for, because that's what we're in college for.
No, absolutely. And I think, and you kind of mentioned it too, and I don't know if you guys follow like AJ Styles on like any of the social medias, but he posted something about hope I get this right. What was it? Phantom Arcades?
Yeah.
I remember seeing that as like this big giant like arcade machine, and where like I guess you could play like old games from other systems on it and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, they have even now like a retro gaming stick that is starting to do those as well. But they do have big arcade cabinets that you can specially make and put the technology into play and download all kinds of emulators and stuff to play any game that you want, depending on what your setup is. If your controller setup is the old classic cabinet style and you have the joystick and the big buttons, then you have that, and that's the games you play with.
Some can even have both, where you're like, oh, here's
Yeah.
the buttons and the joystick if you want. If not, we got these controllers as well.
Yeah.
That's such a clever idea. Let me ask you both this: has there been a game that many people may not be aware of that you love playing that you wish you could play again?
You mean a game that I have now that I wish I played more, that I like kind of purchased again later in life because I loved it as a teenager?
No.
Super Monkey Ball.
No.
Oh my gosh, Super Monkey Ball! Gee,
I have a Super Monkey Ball game, and I wish I played it more. I bought it for the PS4.
No,
Oh.
he's saying ones that are
Like old.
that are old, that doesn't get enough love that it should. Tell him, not me. Don't whisper it to me.
Echo the Dolphin.
Holy crap! Echo the Dolphin. That was a good one.
Echo the Dolphin. That and Earthworm Jim. Toe Jam and Earl. Escape to Funkatron. Not the first one. The first one's kind of lame. That's my mom's favorite one. Whenever my mom wants to play Toe Jam and Earl, that's the one we play. But I like Escape to Funkatron. It's a side scroller.
Of course it is.
How about you, Rodney?
Oh, see, there's so many for me. Jack and Daxter, I don't think gets enough love.
Jack and Dax.
Gets enough love because it gets overtaken by Ratchet and Clank. But Jack and Daxter was a really good series.
The Tasmanian Tiger was a good one too.
Oh, I forgot about that one.
I loved that game.
But even, oh Lord, I had so many. There was a combat basketball game that I had that didn't get enough love because they were like, this is really retarded.
Was this Bill
sorry for my
Lambert's?
word. What was that?
Is that Bill Lambert's game?
I think so. Yeah. It was for Super Nintendo, and it was just so random. But a lot of people didn't give it enough love. But there was other games when I was a kid, man, that don't get enough love in the history books nowadays. Like, oh Lord.
Freak Style was a really good game for the PS2 too. I loved that game. It was a dirt bike game.
Yeah, but MX and ATV took over that world.
I know, but Freak Style was so much better.
I loved dude, I loved the Jeremy McGrath like dirt bike racing games. Those were a lot of fun.
See, Freak Style was my sister's. I stole it from her.
See, we're also going then into those there. Like, you gotta start, Tony Hawk
Oh
Yeah.
the
yes,
games there, but that are now getting remade. But
aggressive inline. Remember that one?
oh, dude, no, it's the one that never still to this day gets enough. Which would be Too Extreme.
Oh, I
Was
have
it?
the game. I have it with me.
Yeah, that's the downhill racing game
Yes, I
of
love that
extreme
game.
sports. You either on a mountain bike, a skateboard, roller skates, or
Yeah.
snowboards, and you race down to the finish, and you can actually get to knock people off or get like a little bonus by going through a certain gate and stuff.
Don't forget to
It's
That's why
lose.
that's why you like that one level on Mario Kart so much, where it's like the race at the bottom of the hill.
yeah, that's just a fun nostalgia one.
Don't forget to
That
lose.
yeah, but
That
like that was one of the ones that Dad and I played a lot. That
I love that game.
yeah, there's just a lot. Another series that I could see that I would love to have come back and do more fun with was Test Drive. Test Drive was very
Ooh,
well as a kid, and but now mind you, a lot of these have nostalgia for me because it was games that I played with my father
Yeah.
that at this point I don't get to do that much with. And
There was a NASCAR game that we had for the PlayStation and a demo derby, like demolition derby game that me and my dad would play all the time when I was younger, and he would always get pissed at me because I would always kick his ass. And then
was it 98?
I don't
Was it
know.
NASCAR 98?
Let me look.
Because if it was NASCAR 98 and you did the little cheat code,
I didn't know, dude. I was a kid. I didn't understand cheat codes then.
but hold on,
But my dad would be like, he would.
if you did the
My
cheat code,
dad being my dad, he would blame it on the controller. And me being the loving daughter that I was, I would always offer to trade him controllers.
if you did the
I
cheat
would always,
code
I'd be like, "Well, Daddy, you can win one. Here, I'll trade you controllers." And then he knew that wouldn't do anything. And he's like, "No, it's fine."
in 98, you put the combination in and you got paintball mode and you shot paintballs out the front of your car and knock
oh
people off the
yes.
track. Dad hated when I played those games.
Do you guys remember
It was
Twisted?
98, 90.
You guys remember Twisted Metal?
Yeah, who doesn't?
I'm surprised that game hasn't gotten new ones
I don't know if it was
lately.
an actual NASCAR game.
Well, at this point, they made a great series out of there, but the Twisted Metal series was just very. It was difficult, but it was fun at the same time.
Dude, and honestly, looking back on it, it kind of asks like a good moral question.
Yeah,
Like,
what is wrong with people today?
yeah, well, besides that, but no, but like the whole concept of Twisted Metal itself was like, holy crap! Like, what if this actually happened and someone's like, hey, if you do this, you can get any wish you want. I wonder how many people would actually take that.
Yeah,
That's a scary thought.
but again, it brought so many like games in themselves, like certain game series, like they had their own mascot, and like we wouldn't have had Sweet Tooth. Like Sweet Tooth was straight out only because of Twisted Metal, and who could ever like when you see that iconic character, you instantly know, and it triggers that core memory of like that game and where you were when the first time you saw either yourself or somebody you knew playing that game. And it's just the memories that will always stick in your brain.
Well, yeah, it was very similar to like GoldenEye, where like we can get a bunch of people together and play that,
Yep.
and also around that time, another game going back to maybe more kid friendly stuff. But do you guys remember playing Pokemon Stadium?
Hated, hated
I never played
that.
that one.
I am not a big fan of the RPG turn-based games to where it's like, oh, I go and then you go, then I go and then you go. Like I hated that.
ah, I always had a good time with it. But and speaking of games that you don't see anymore, there was actually and Danny, you might be up your alley because it's a Gothic game. But one of my favorite games playing, but it was only one game ever came out of it, was called Dark Watch.
See, you said Gothic, and my brain went a completely different way.
Oh, well, you ever heard of Dark
Alice
Watch?
Madness Returns.
Oh,
No.
Alice in Wonderland games that were really freaking dark and twisted. Oh my god, I had them for the Xbox or yeah, for my 360.
See,
And I played that game to completion so many times until my Xbox gave me the red ring of death.
I I thought he was going to go with Castlevania.
Oh, Castlevania was a good one too. Let's
It's
go
not a good
there.
one. I never played that one.
Castlevania was fun, but no.
Why? It was a side scroller. You would have been just fine.
He's gonna be sleeping on the couch tonight.
He might
I
just
say that, but I can't sleep without him there. So I'd come downstairs and just cuddle with him on the couch and be like, "Can you come to bed now? I'm done being a grump butt."
There's just so much fun with certain games. I feel like that's something that this generation is missing.
Oh,
Yes,
Our, our old school games that we grew up on with the shitty graphics.
it's not
I
that.
loved them though.
It's the fact that nowadays we have Wi-Fi and we have the internet
And they have
gaming.
games constantly accessible.
Well, it's not that. You have all the games that you can play online and you just can play anybody around the world with, which is great. And you got that interaction sometimes with them, but then you get those guys on there that want to talk the way they talk and are very rude and everything else. Even us as kids, we had more fun, and like we were talking here of guys sitting around
Mhm.
or guys and girls, I should say. I just say guys as a generalized thing.
Mhm.
But you had a bunch of kids always sitting around playing whatever game it was. You took turns because whoever lost or whatever, you just rotated the controllers and made you up your own tournament brackets to see who could beat everybody that night. But the split screens, games today don't have that much of split screens. The co-ops to where it's two people on the same screen playing together or against each other, that style and that version of generation was my favorite and will always be my favorite, because not only did you still get to play the game, you got the interaction with the person you're playing with, and
Yeah.
it's still body to body, not microphone to microphone.
You know, I 1000% agree with that. Like, is it cool to play online and be with people from all over the world? 100%. I think it's awesome. But you also got to realize, like, when it's over, you not to get all depressing, but when it's over and you turn off the system and you're putting your stuff away, you look around, you realize it's just me.
Right.
Yeah.
But also on that standpoint, though, you don't know who you're playing with. You
That
don't
is
know
true.
what that person is or who that person is. Now, mind you, is it cool to be able, like, if it is somebody that does have a past that they're trying to escape from, which video games are known for, is just that world of escape and knowing that, hey, I want to escape from what I had going on today, or the bad day I had. Now I just need to escape for a couple hours. You know, you have that, but then you're able to play now online with it. Didn't matter who it is. So it's still a way for bad people in the world to get to talk to certain people and manipulate people. But the days of it being body to body, split screens and everything else, to where, like, I would love to have that more, to where, my kids come up and say, hey dad, can I take our controller over to so and so's house so we can play two player, that type of games and that type of fun. Because then, no matter what, they're still getting that interaction with a person the way that it needs to be, and the camaraderie with having a person still with them.
Yeah, no, I agree with that 100% too, because I think that kind of peaked in like the 2000s. Because when the Xbox came around, you still kind of had it because you had that four controller slot. But then when they did like the Xbox Live and the PlayStation, brought in
Yeah.
its online stuff, it kind of started something. Which, to be honest with you, I don't want to say it was a bad thing, but I don't want to say it was necessarily like the best thing either. Because, like you said, we kind of started to lose like contact with people.
Well, like that, and like after a certain point, they started making a lot of like one-player games. Like, how many times have we been on PlayStation Plus Premium
Yep.
looking for a game that we can play together? That's something different that we don't have, that's new. And I'm like, shit, that's one player. Shit, that's one player. That's one player. That's one player. That doesn't have split screen. It's two-player, but it's two-player network. Have to be playing with somebody else on a different TV. It's it's lame. And another thing to think of is like, I mean, I know when the last time I just sat around with a bunch of my friends, not as childhood wise, but like as kids, we didn't really like kind of let it fully set in the last real time that we stopped playing video games with our friends.
Oh,
Shut
yeah.
everything down, turned all the consoles off. And like back then when we were kids too, it was different because like you could ride your bike or your scooter or whatever the hell you were riding through the neighborhood and you could easily find where all your friends were.
Yep.
Whichever front yard or whichever front porch had all of everybody's whatever on it, that is where you knew everyone was. There was no cell phones. We had house phones, but our parents were too busy on them all the time. So like when we went to find our friends to play, it was the can so and so come out to play? Like
Go
it's
knock
not
on
like
the
now, like,
door.
hey, you want to hang out? Like it's not the freaking same. But I know my bachelorette party, that's all we did. We sat here and me and my girls, we just sat here on the 55-inch and we played Mario Kart.
Oh, that seemed like
We
that was
literally just me and the girls, we had like a taco bar. We just hung out at the house while the boys went up to the cabin and got shit faced. We sat here and we just hung out and we played video games until like midnight, 1 a.m. until I was like, okay, ladies, I need some rest. Like he went partying with the boys and I just sat at the house and nerded out for the night. Because that's what I wanted. The girls were like, you want to go to a bar? You want to go to state college? I'm like, no, no, no. And he only went to the cabin because he knew he wasn't allowed at the house. Rules.
you couldn't have brought one of your old systems with you, bud?
You mean one of mine?
We
He
played.
could have.
There was a PS2 there and whatnot to play at that
Yeah.
point. So I still got nostalgia in to play and do what I needed to do.
Well, what's
But-
crazy is we literally drug down. I had my one bridesmaid's husband bring down the tote full of games and game consoles from my attic for us to hook up. And we ended up not even hooking it up. We just played the Switch.
No, man, and I
'Cause
hear
it
what you,
was it's such a process to hook everything up.
well, honestly, back then some of these older systems are a lot easier to hook up than probably today's systems.
No,
No, HDMI power cord.
HDMI and a cord, but the other ones
You had to blow on things and
Well,
that
I'm telling-
actually didn't work.
it did.
That
Sure,
no, that's the
Well-
funny thing. Everybody thought blowing into the cartridge was a thing to make it work because dust got into it. No, a lot of it was because a wire in the inside, the soldering just snapped off.
Pop one of your prongs off.
well, what I
Like-
mean by that though is like when you know how when you get some of these new systems, you got to go through all this, signing up and all that stuff.
Oh, and the system updates and
Yeah.
But if you want to, a lot of like the Tomb Raider game that I got, I could either stream it or I could download it. And if I stream it,
see,
if so many people are on there, it won't let me on or it takes forever. And like the downloading process, which like thankfully, whenever I downloaded it yesterday, I hit download and I went across the street to the store and did what I needed to do while it was sitting here doing its thing. But like that's one thing that sucks is whenever like nowadays, if you go buy a physical copy of a game, like when I went and bought Spyro, I was like, hell yeah, I'm gonna go home, I'm gonna put this in, I'm gonna play it. Nope. Nope.
Dude, that's
You
one
had to wait for hours for all of the software to download onto your console because it's not just all on the disc. It needs to download onto your console too. So I'm like, this is stupid. Like, so I had to wait. I like plugged it in, put it in, got it, did all the original setup, and I was like, I'm gonna play some Spyro. I'm so excited. Got halfway through the first level and it booted me.
Oh,
And I was livid. And then I go back to the home screen and it was like 4.5 hours for the entire game to download. And I was livid. I was like, this is so shit.
no,
I just want to play my game.
no, I hear
womp
you.
womp.
Yeah, right.
Oh, I
But-
was so mad.
No, I believe it because that's one of the things too. I'm starting to get really frustrated about like some of the newer games is everything's slowly becoming digital.
Oh, you need an update.
Yeah, not only do you need an update, but then you paid, let's just say $60 for a game, and then all of a sudden it can get taken away from you. And I'm just like, wait.
Yep.
But
You now officially only own the rights to play it for an X amount of time until they say,
We don't
Hey.
anymore.
we don't want to put this on our server anymore.
There's one game that I didn't play for. This is one thing I like about having PlayStation Plus is I have access to so many different games. But one thing I hate about having PlayStation Plus is there's one game that I have not deleted from my PlayStation Plus list because I'm praying to God that it comes back because I loved the game. It's called Tinykin. They took
Tiny?
it off. They took it off.
What's
And
tiny?
it's okay. You're gonna have to look at it. It's kind of weird. You're like you're shrunken down and you're like in a house and like everything like let's say you're in our house that like Tinykin, the little dude, he's like the size of like a bug. And like
Okay.
there's little bugs and stuff like that that he has to help with. And then there's like certain colors of things that he collects that help him do certain things. And you've got to collect things. And
Is it
I'm
kind of
really
like
loving
Animal Crossing?
maybe I never
Sounds like
played
it.
I never played Animal Crossing. So I'm not sure, but I really liked it. And they removed it from their archive. So now it's still on my PlayStation, but whenever I go to click on it, where the little game disc is, there's a lock on it that's like, you can't play me. I'm
Oh,
still here. My picture's still here, but you can't click on me.
Josh, do you have a Switch?
I do. I have a Switch Lite, I should say.
Have you gone back to the nostalgia game of life and decided to play
Still game.
Zombies Ate My Neighbors?
I actually never got to play that one.
You can download that on the on your Switch.
Okay.
They came out and redid the anniversary game, and you can play it on your Switch. That was something that when I found it, I was like, we're going back old school, and that's what we do a lot with our Switch is going back and doing a lot of the old school stuff.
No, dude, honestly, I've been kind of look up like emulators and trying to find old games to play because I'm kind of all over the place when it comes to genres because I can go from like sci-fi, turn-based
Mhm.
sports. I'm kind of all over the place. So one of the games
Well, if you have the online for your Switch, they have a lot of the emulators already there for you.
That you just download.
Yeah, that you just download, and they have a bunch of like N64, Super Nintendo.
They even have
Um,
and
they
they
have
have a couple N64 18 and over games.
yeah,
Too.
they have a mature N64 which has like Torok and stuff like that in there
you guys
as
ever
well.
played Zero?
Played what?
F-Zero.
Yep.
No.
She yells at me because it's the sci-fi racing game.
Oh, fuck you.
You could go like
She
thousands of miles an hour.
Yeah, I got her to try to play it, and she was like, "What the heck?" But for your Switch, if you want to, there's called F-Zero 99. If you download that, it's F-Zero, but you play against 99 other racers.
Cool.
And it's legitly the entire like you would normally play through the track with 99 players on it and see how much you can rank out of 100. It's intense.
I believe it.
Okay, so back on the other topic, since he asked what Tinykin was, it on Google it says it is a charming puzzle platformer where you play as a tiny astronaut exploring a human house using cute collectible creatures called Tinykin with unique abilities like building ladders or exploding to solve environmental puzzles and gather parts to build a rocket. It's inspired by Pikmin and Paper Mario.
Oh, I love Pikmin. That's a
I
great
love
game.
Paper Mario. But it says the game features exploration focused gameplay, a little person in a big world aesthetic, and focus on collecting and using different types of tinykin to overcome obstacles.
I
I
as,
like puzzle games. I'm weird. I'm a loser. Okay.
yeah,
I
nothing
like
wrong with puzzle
puzzles
game.
and
Josh,
Sudoku and color by number games. I'm weird.
to give you a reference of how that game works, it's the same thing as Yoshi's Island,
Okay, I do.
where when you collected a bunch of the different eggs and you got to use them to shoot.
You could shoot them. You could throw them at things.
Yes,
You could create ladders with them and then climb on them. They exploded.
just like Pikmin.
Yeah.
Of course, I feel bad as much as I like playing those games. I felt bad, like, oh, you just take a guy and just throw him at something, and like, here, you deal with this for me, and they're getting eaten by some giant monster. Oh yes, those were good times. But has there been any modern games you guys like?
I'm still stuck with Doom.
I mean, the
Like,
most modern that I've played is Stray.
Is that the one with the cat?
yes,
Yeah. That game kind of creeps me out. I've gotten to a certain point in that game that I can't get past, honestly, so I haven't played it in a while. The most recent game I purchased was Super Mario Galaxy and Super Mario Galaxy 2. And Super Mario Sunshine and Bowser's Fury, I believe, were 2 and 1 also.
Sunshine was a lot of fun to play.
Maybe it's not Sunshine.
It is.
Is it?
Yes.
Bowser's Fury is really fun to play too.
Ah,
I beat that one to 100% twice.
holy crap!
I actually just recently started going back and playing Doom Eternal, to try to beat that. It's a little intense.
No, I believe it because that's what makes Doom Doom. It's supposed to be.
They up the speed of a lot of things that if you're not very quick to pull a trigger and aim
I went
or
last.
melee in like a split second, it gets a little hairy.
Well,
I
isn't
mean, I'll even sit here and watch him play it, and I'm screaming at the TV as he's playing. I'm like,
well, isn't it? But isn't it always been known though for being a bit of a run and gun kind of game?
Oh yeah, but where they did 2016 was when they revamped the series and brought it back out.
That was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Jeez.
sorry, it's my bed.
Yeah, I know. But
You
when they
took 10 years ago, I'm like, yeah, it's my bedtime. It's 9 o'clock.
but when they brought that out, they made it so much more fast paced, and the melees and the glory kills at this point. But then,
And then you know it's about to get real.
I say Internal now is doing that even more, and I'm afraid to see where they push the envelope with Dark Ages.
It's going to be interesting. I actually,
it's already out. I just have not gathered it because I was like, I don't know. I don't normally at this point with doing as much as I do. I don't game as much.
PlayStation.
I have slowly been picking it, dabbling back into it just to get myself through like some rough times and stuff, just to be able to get my mindset set out of it, out of random moments in my life.
No, I hear you, bud, because I'm kind of going through something similar too in my life because everyone knows, well, you guys know, especially I'm a writer and I like to write, poems and all that stuff. And I've been going back on the Mass Effect series, the original 3.
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness. That's been making me feel good in a lot of ways. So I totally get where you're coming from with that as well, dude, because I think that's one of the biggest misconceptions about, at least in my opinion,
Yes,
video
5
games.
add-on.
Yeah.
5.
Is it fair to say the biggest misconception about video games is that it actually can help people just like relax and focus and just like take energy that they want to get rid of?
Oh no, that's 100%. People need to understand that. And that's 100% what gaming
That's what it was for me.
But that's what gaming originally was intended for. Was intended for families to come together and play, or for you to be able to go and immerse yourself and have a free moment to be able to casually pick up a controller, play for a minute, put it down, and just say, okay, here's my unwinding time, so I don't go out and do a bunch of stupid things. I know, at least for myself, that's 100% what I've used it for. As I got older, when I was younger, as we were younger, we played gaming like it was nothing, and it was all the time, as much as time as we could. Now it's, as adults, you have so much stuff going down that's hard to do certain things or sit down and just immerse yourself into a game. And you need what is called now a casual game, not a game to where it's, if you're not good enough and you can't dedicate hours and thousands of hours to playing, you're not going to be any good. You're not always going to lose and everything else, because the skills that you earn, or your rankings that you earn to unlock certain things, like in Call of Duty Online and all that stuff. Like, that's why myself, I go back now and play all the games that we used to use as play as kids, because that there I can easily play a level or two, put the controller down, you know, set a timer. Hey, I only have X amount of time to play. When I get to that timer, I'm done. I got to go do my other stuff that I got to go do.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And honestly, I think I'll call it a quits on the episode here today because sounds like you guys are getting ready for bed.
Just that one.
I'm tired. I'm sorry. It's past my
Well,
bedtime.
it's all good. We actually went way over what I thought. Honestly, we were having so much fun. I didn't realize what time it was.
You asked a bunch of nerds and
We got nerd
gamers,
talking. It
Oh yeah,
happens.
and
no,
we didn't get to even touch base on the fun nostalgia game nerds that we could go into.
That could be a different episode.
oh yeah, oh yeah. We could definitely work something like that out next time. But
When you
honestly,
start wanting to pull out the Super Nintendo and you start playing the Power Rangers, Turtles in Time, and
I mean, if we
oh,
want to play show and tell one of these times, warn me next time and I'll have him grab the toad out and I could be like, look at the treasure chest I have.
oh, we'll definitely keep that in mind and keep updates on that. But thank you guys so much for coming on and talking some nerd stuff with me.
Of course.
always.
And as always, I hope and pray you guys continue to stay safe out there, whether it be wrestling or working. I hope you guys are doing well.
As best we can.
Yeah.
That's all we can do, right?
Right.
But hey, man, once again, thank you so much for coming on. And to all of you watching, I love you all. And God bless. Be safe, everybody.